All right, we are bringing to the stage an incredible speaker, author, expert, and coach about self-awareness. Kevin Neal, everybody. Let's give it up. All right, Kevin, one of the things that you coach is self-awareness.
Yes.
Why is self-awareness important?
Self-awareness is very important. Number one, there's an old African proverb that says, if there's no enemies within, the enemies without can do you no harm. Thing about that is, too many of us don't realize the enemies that we have within. We always want to think that we're okay.
Right.
You know, we've got no shortcomings. We have no blind spots. We have no weaknesses.
Right.
And when we think that way, we're setting ourselves up for a fall. So you need to be self-aware in order to protect yourself from falling, becoming vulnerable to different problems in your life, problems in your workplace. So you have to actually concentrate on what are my shortcomings, what are my weaknesses, and if you don't do that, you'll ultimately fall.
Yeah, it's like asking yourself, who am I? Is that where imagination comes in?
Yeah. Actually, I wrote a book on imagination called Embracing Your Superpower, Reactivating the Power of Imagination. And I get a lot of my ideas and my concepts from my family. I have my great-grandmother was born in the late 1800s. She was born with no arms. Now, there were no schools or there were no opportunities for her calling to say, we want somebody with no arms.
Right.
That was just not there.
Right.
And so what she had to do was imagine. Imagine a life productive without all of the abilities of her limbs, without the abilities that everybody else had. So how could she imagine something that was not modeled before her?
Right.
People have to realize that whether something is modeled before you or not, if you have the power of imagination, you can imagine, have a vision of where you're going, what you want to do. And when you have that vision, you can do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. That's powerful. You know, you talk about your great-grandmother. Your family is obviously close. Let's talk a little bit about them and where you're from. Okay,
my father actually is from Arkansas. My mother is from Jackson, Mississippi. They met in East Chicago, Indiana. And that's where they got married, had all of us. And as we were growing as children, my dad decided that he wanted to move back south. My dad was born on a farm with pigs, cows, chickens, and all that. He wanted that lifestyle again. So he kind of took us to if you've ever seen the show, The Beverly Hillbillies, we were kind of the reverse of that. we came from East Chicago, Indiana, to Jackson, Mississippi. And then my father bought a farm where he raised chickens, cows, pigs, corn, watermelon, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's who he was, and that's what he loved. But of course, as we were just children, we said, this is not my idea of life.
It's not who I am.
Yeah, right. So most of us left when we got a chance.
Right. So you were self-aware pretty young.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why is it important to move forward in life?
You've often heard, and I'm sure you've come across people in your life where they said, the good old days. Remember when, I remember when I used to watch, there was a show called, with Al Bundy. I can't remember the name of the show.
Married with Children?
Married with Children. And he used to talk about how many touchdowns he made in a single football game. The thing of it was, he lived in his past. And when you magnify your past, you deny your future. Because what happens is you magnify that past and you shut down all the things that could happen for you in the future, because the good old days is where you're living. And where you should be living is in your future and looking forward toward your future.
Right. And you can do that by being self-aware.
Yes.
And by using your imagination.
Yes, yes.
I love it. I just had to wrap that up because you're the expert. All right, everybody, give it up for Kevin Neal. Great job, Kevin. Nice work.
Thank you.
You guys good? Okay, good. Awesome. I love it. You got
Thank
great
you.
energy too.
Thank you.
Awesome.
thank you for leading me through that interview.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, here's a Stanism.
No, great go-to. It's like everyone's dad. There's their go-to phrase or soundbite moment. Everyone's dad, at least one, but without delivering it like, oh, here it comes. So Kevin just had a great one of those. Like, and you might want to have 5 to 10 in your pocket.
Yeah.
There's a thing that fit any question or any scenario, so that you know that soundbite is always going to hit in an interview like this.